followed by alcohol. The ever-controlled boss finally gives in to his feelings, caressing the cook's flushed cheek. Nazli melts under the tenderness of his gaze, and without thinking, she responds to his kiss with one of her own. Ferit is overjoyed, convinced that what he feels isn't one-sided. She loves him, but when morning comes, everything changes. Nazli laughs it off, claiming she remembers nothing from the night before. Ferit tries to bring up fragments of their kiss, hoping to jog her memory, but she brushes it aside, saying none of it matters. Her evasive tone leaves Ferit confused and uneasy, and he has more reason to worry, because his brother-in-law's brother is in love with Nazli too. At the party, Dennis says he wants to dedicate a song to the person he loves the most. Nazli beams, oblivious that he's talking about her, but Ferit and Alia both tense up, knowing exactly who he means. Sensing the shift in atmosphere, Dennis quickly backtracks, saying the song is for his beloved nephew. Only then does the tension between all four of them finally ease. But Alia, burning with jealousy, wants Dennis to let go of Nazli for good. So she accidentally spills her drink on him and urges him to change clothes, suggesting he borrow something from Ferit's room. A few hours earlier, she had discovered a silk scarf lying in Ferit's nightstand drawer, the very one Nazli had lost at the bar. Alia had picked it up and asked Ferit to return it, but he never did. Clearly, he had kept it not by accident, but because it reminded him of her. And sure enough, Dennis senses it as soon as he sees it. Dennis walks downstairs with a heavy face and sees Ferit in the kitchen, speaking to Nazli with a tenderness he's never shown anyone else. That's when it finally hits him. Ferit is in love with Nazli. He says a quick goodbye to everyone and leaves without looking back. Everyone is left wondering what caused his sudden change in mood. After everyone else has left, Ferit stops Nazli, pleading for a moment alone. He brings up the kiss, confessing that he loves her, and he's certain she feels the same way. But he doesn't understand why she keeps running away from him. Nazli feels a flicker of happiness, but it's quickly drowned by guilt. She can't bring herself to confess that her sister betrayed him, so she runs. She's afraid that if this goes on, she'll only fall deeper for Ferit, past the point of no return. So she makes up her mind to walk away from him, but she doesn't have the courage to face him directly. Instead, she writes her resignation on a sticky note. Ferit finds the note in his hand. Before he can even react, Nazli is already gone, tears streaming down her face. The noise wakes Dennis from the couch. He rushes over, asking what happened. Why did Nazli resign? Ferit, still in shock, snaps back at him. Isn't this exactly what you wanted? She will have more time to spend with you after she quits. Dennis gives a laugh laced with defiance. Exactly. I'll even offer her a job as head chef at my bar. From that moment on, the battle lines are drawn. Neither of them intends to back down. When Ferit's cousin learns about this, he turns into the role of love guru. When two people clearly love each other, but one suddenly walks away, it's either because of a third party or a buried secret. Maybe Nazli is hiding something from you. Ferit comes to his senses and decides to confront Nazli and get the truth. Later that night, Ferit corners Nazli at the bar and forces her up to the rooftop for a talk. Why did you quit? And with just a sticky note. Seeing she still refuses to give him a real answer, he grabs her chin and makes her face him, accusing her of not having the courage to look him in the eye. Nazli panics and claims she simply wants a new life. She doesn't want to be a chef anymore. But Ferit sees right through her lie. If she won't tell him the truth, he'll find it out himself. Either way, he's not letting her go without knowing the truth. The next day, Ferit sends a driver to Nazli's house with a copy of her employment contract. According to the terms she signed, resigning unilaterally would be a breach, and that means a penalty of $100,000. Nazli is furious. Isn't this basically a tyrannical clause? She storms into Ferit's office, accusing him of having no right to force her to work. But Ferit, shameless as ever, shrugs. It's just business. Contract's a contract. Either pay the penalty and leave, or work for me another year to make up for it. Then he smugly pulls out a menu and tells her to go prepare ingredients for tonight's dinner. Up against a powerful and stubborn boss, Nazli has no choice but to keep cooking. She only has herself to blame for not reading the fine print. To vent her frustration, she covers the entire kitchen with angry sticky notes, each one a jab at Ferit. It drives his OCD self nearly insane. But as long as she's still by his side, he's willing to endure anything. Later, Dennis hears about the contract stunt and heads to Ferit's villa, where he finds Nazli aggressively kneading dough. He offers to pay the breach fee for her, if that's what it takes for her to leave, but Nazli firmly refuses. It would ruin his relationship with Ferit, and she doesn't want to see friends turning on each other. Dennis's resentment toward Ferit is already hard to contain, and his sister's subtle manipulation only makes it worse. Demet asks her brother to support her in the upcoming PR director vote. Dennis has never taken much interest in company matters, usually entrusting his stake to Ferit, but Demet plays the family card. We're the only siblings left in this family. We need to stick together. Though he doesn't approve of many things Demet and Hakan have done, Dennis is growing increasingly disillusioned with Ferit, especially after seeing how he's trying to control Nazli like some sort of tyrant. A week later, at the company's PR director selection meeting, Demet and Hakan show up brimming with confidence. To everyone's surprise, Dennis shows up in person, and without hesitation, raises his hand in support of Demet. Ferit feels utterly betrayed and storms out of the room. After calming down, Ferit goes to Dennis's apartment and points out that he is being used by his sister and brother-in-law. They're trying to drive a wedge between us. You'd better stay away from them. But that lights a fuse in Dennis. I'm not a child. You don't get to tell me what to do. You think just because you have money and power, you can control everyone's life. You won't give my sister a promotion, and you won't let Nazli quit. You expect everyone to live by your rules, but I won't be one of them. Ferit is disappointed in him and says he's already been brainwashed by Hakan. Still, Dennis' outburst strikes a chord. Ferit starts to reflect, and for the first time, realizes maybe he was wrong. The next day, he asks Nazli onto the yacht with the intention of giving her the choice. Like the fish in the sea, if it wants to come back, it will. Then he tears up the contract with his own hands. You're free now. No one has the right to hold you down. Seeing Ferit do something so against his own nature, Nazli is stunned. She shakes his hand with quiet gratitude, then walks off the yacht. But this isn't the end of their story, only a new beginning. Later, Nazli's Japanese teacher hears about a restaurant urgently looking to sell shares. She finds Nazli, hoping to team up and buy in together. Nazli is excited, but the down payment and transfer cost nearly $300,000. She doesn't have that kind of money. Worse, the bank won't approve her loan. She's unemployed, and her credit's bad due to late payments on her sister's tuition loan. Just when she's about to give up, her father shows up. It turns out her parents have mortgaged their house back home to get a loan, just to help their daughter chase her dream. Nazli is overwhelmed with joy and goes to share the news with her friend Dennis. Dennis sees this joyful occasion as the perfect chance to finally confess his feelings. That night, Dennis throws a party and invites many people to celebrate Nazli's dream coming true. He announces he's dedicating the song he wrote to the girl he loves. As he sings, never taking his eyes off her, Nazli finally realizes she's the one. She doesn't reject him outright, not in front of everyone. Instead, she gently tells him she sees him only as a friend. Dennis hears what she means, and his heart quietly breaks. Demet can also see that her brother likes Nazli. She lays everything bare, Nazli's sister's secret photos, and Nazli's role in covering it up. Then she pulls out a USB drive from the drawer, filled with all the evidence. My dear brother, if Ferit finds out, he'll never want to see Nazli again. She'll come running back to you. But Dennis lets out a cold laugh and tosses the USB drive back onto the desk. I'm not interested in winning someone's heart through dirty tricks. He fails to see his sister's true motives, that she's the one who wants Nazli and Ferit apart, so she can have Ferit all to herself. Meanwhile, Ferit begins his clumsy and proud attempt to win Nazli over, without ever admitting he's trying. He buys the remaining 50% of the restaurant's shares and shows up beside Nazli as her new business partner. Nazli is stunned, thinking he's here for revenge. Ferit calmly tells her not to misunderstand. This is just a business investment. You're the one I trust the most. You're incredibly talented, and I know you'll turn this place into one of the most successful restaurants in Istanbul. Nazli is touched, but with the secret still looming over her, she doesn't dare let him get too close. She vents to her best friend, saying she just can't seem to shake Ferit off. The bestie teases, then maybe stop trying. He's an excellent businessman. It might not be a bad thing to let him help you. The next day, Ferit arrives with a team of workers, ready to renovate and upgrade the entire restaurant. Nazli grows frustrated and snaps at him. Could you stop making every decision on your own? At least let me know in advance. We read partners. I'm a shareholder too. Ferit smirks, happily agreeing. He declares the kitchen will be her territory, but everything else is his responsibility. No need for her to worry. Since they're now business partners, Ferit seizes the chance to close the distance between them. You should stop calling me Mr. Ferit. Just Ferit is fine. Dennis, watching from the sidelines, can't help but admire the subtle moves of a man clearly staking his claim. To be fair, Ferit is pouring real effort into making the restaurant a success. He gathers his most food-obsessed friends, asking for feedback on every dish. He invites Nazli and her Japanese teacher to his home for long meetings about branding and promotions. On the eve of opening night, he even tries to cook a meal for Nazli. But the moment the potatoes hit the pan, oil splashes and burns his hand. Nazli rushes to him, filled with concern. Ferit lets out a smug little smile. This much is enough to show she cares. And the pain, totally worth it. Especially since Nazli finally cooks for him again, after all this time. Bathed in romantic candlelight, the two talk and laugh as if nothing else in the world matters. Ferit suggests they leave behind their burdens and their titles, just for one night. No questions, no expectations, only the moment. It's exactly what Nazli has been longing for all along. As the soft crackle of a vinyl record begins to play, the ever-romantic Ferit reaches out his hand to invite her to dance. He gently strokes her cheek. Nazli leans into his embrace, soaking in the peace and quiet joy she rarely allows herself to feel. Little do they know, Dennis is standing nearby, seething with jealousy. Everything seems to be falling into place, but the calm never lasts long. It's time for the storm to hit. The restaurant bursts into life on its grand opening day. Guests rave about the food, showering Nazli with praise and encouragement. Alia and Dennis take the stage to perform and liven up the evening. In front of everyone, Ferit initiates Nazli to dance with him. Their chemistry is undeniable, and they don't hold back the affection. Denise watches, unable to keep playing. His fingers freeze over the strings, the music abruptly cuts out, and a wave of awkward silence falls over the room. After a moment's respite, Dennis walks off the stage and stammers to Nazli, "I've got a performance tomorrow, so now I have to go to rehearsal." But once home, envy eats away at him. He loses control and smashes his $1,000,000 guitar into pieces. Fooled by anger and heartbreak, he makes a decision. It's time to tell Ferit the truth. Meanwhile, Ferit walks restaurant and bids Nazli a warm goodnight. But when he returns to his villa, the security guard informs him a package was just delivered. The secret that has been hidden for more than 10 episodes has finally come out. Ferit scrolls through the photos on his phone, secretly taken by Nazli's sister, the very evidence that cost him custody of his nephew. His gaze sharpens as he turns to Nazli, asking if she knew about it all along. Nazli has no choice but to confess. She said she never meant to deceive him, she only wanted to protect her sister. But it's too late. Ferit feels like he's been stabbed in the back. After all, he trusted her more than anyone else. And now that trust is shattered, he storms out, leaving Nazli in silence. A week later, Ferit sends his secretary and legal team to the restaurant with one message. He owns 50% of the shares, and he now demands the place be shut down. If it isn't closed within the week, he'll take it to court. Nazli is devastated, but she doesn't try to plead with him. She knows she's at fault, and it's only right that she face the consequences. She's tired. All she wants is for the suffocating pain to end. But her sister isn't ready to give up. Asaman rushes to Ferit's villa and tries to make things right, but Ferit, still burning with anger, brushes past her and disappears inside. The guards stop Asaman at the gate, but she refuses to leave. She stands outside the villa, through the cold for the entire night. Eventually, Ferit gives in and grants her a moment to speak. Asaman apologizes and takes full responsibility. "At first, I did it for the money, but I never imagined things would spiral this badly. My sister stayed silent only to protect me. Put yourself in her shoes. Wouldn't you do anything to protect your own brother?" The question hits Ferit straight in the heart. But even so, he can't bring himself to forgive Nazli. He throws down a cold parting shot. Silence is a crime, and drives away. Asaman returns to her apartment in despair and tells her sister Ferit's reaction. Nazli takes a deep breath, almost relieved. After all, she's drowning in debt, out of a job, and can't even pay rent anymore. So she may as well take Asaman back to their hometown. No matter how hard her best friend tries to stop her, Nazli is done with this city and its heartbreak. Worried, the friend calls Denise, begging him to talk Nazli out of it. Ferit happens to overhear the call. Dennis angrily accuses Ferit of abusing his power, of destroying a young woman's dream and ruining her life. What a terrifying man. He then quickly leaves the construction site and goes to the bus stop to chase after Nazli. But no matter how hard he tries, comforting, pleading, persuading, Nazli's mind is made up. She blames herself for everything, for hurting an innocent boy and sending him to live with someone he doesn't like. In the end, she says goodbye to Dennis and boards the bus out of the city. But fate isn't done yet. Barely half a mile into the ride, Nazli gets a call from her Japanese teacher. Ferit has changed his mind. He won't shut down the restaurant after all. Even so, Nazli doesn't intend to go back. In the nick of time, it's her sister who makes the real difference. She tells Nazli, "Going back to our hometown won't make the problems go away. We have to stay there and keep fighting hard to get everything sorted out, including your dreams and the BA's guardianship." Nazli's fighting spirit reignites. They immediately tells the driver to stop and gets off the bus. Although Nazli's restaurant is back in business, Ferit's heart remains closed. He still hasn't forgiven her. Ferit claims the only reason he's keeping the place open is because his lawyer advised him to. This is Maroon Recap. Check out my homepage and you'll see more recaps of Full Moon. I'm hastening to write and edit the next recap, so feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.